Before there was Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan, there were the NBA players who reshaped the game. These players changed how the game was played and revolutionized the sport. They were legends in their own time and are still remembered today as some of the greatest to ever play the game. The game of basketball has been changed forever by the great players who have reshaped it. These athletes have taken the sport to new levels with their incredible skills and athleticism. The game will never be the same thanks to them. It's safe to say that the NBA has seen its fair share of all-star caliber players. However, there are a handful of players who have completely changed the game and shaped it into what it is today. Players like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan revolutionized the way the game was played, while players like Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant redefined what it means to be an elite player. These players transcended the game and their legacies will live on forever. LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant changed the game of basketball when they entered the NBA. With their incredible shooting abilities, they created a new style of play that was impossible to stop. Other players had to adapt their game in order to compete, and the level of competition in the league rose significantly. These three players are true pioneers of the sport, and they will always be remembered as legends. It was just another day at the arena when suddenly the news broke. One NBA player had cheated his way into the All-Star game. The whole locker room was in an uproar. Some players were angry, some were shocked, but most of all, everyone was wondering how he could have gotten away with it. But that wasn't even the worst part. Just then, another player walked in, and the stench was so bad that everyone started gagging. These are NBA players that forced rule changes. Nothing compares to how James Harden cheated his way to over 30 points per game. It all started when a young Harden was traded from the Thunder to the Rockets. The man was a bench player at the time, only averaging 9.9 points per game. But after that trade, he became an NBA superstar, averaging 25.9 points per game. That's a 16-point increase. In just 3 seasons, this kind of improvement in a short time is something hard to believe, so it's brought a lot of skepticism. Well, the NBA had some suspicions, and they were still keeping a close eye on him, and then he was caught doing the unthinkable. Harden's been notorious for getting to the free throw line, but during his first year in Houston, he nearly tripled his free throw attempts per game, just to put things into perspective. People think someone like LeBron James gets all the calls, but in 2012, Harden averaged 10 free throws per game. Why did LeBron James only average 7? I guess that tunes 7 more free throws that I got, but still point stands. How do you get 42% more free throws than LeBron, and he will do this year after year? It's that Harden was using an overpowered move that nobody could defend. When a defender would contest, Harden had locked arms with them to force a foul call. Like, just watch this.
Harden did a real good job of using the old vet move. Lock his arm. Don't let him get it out of it. Hold it there, James.
Yeah. And guess who gets the foul? Josh Hart, the rookie.
All right, I know you can't see my face right now, but Josh Hart, that's how I feel about you. Anyways, the league was forced to step in, and in 2017, the Harden who was officially introduced, stating that you can no longer draw a foul by forcing the contact yourself, and if a player is already shooting before the call, it's just a common foul. Fast forward a few years, James Harden was recently traded from the Rockets to the Nets, and during all that controversy hadn't put on enough weight to become a big man. And speaking of controversial big men, Shaquille O'Neal is as big of a deal as they come. And if the NBA had not changed the rule because of him, it would have lost them billions of dollars. Now, obviously, in the real Shaq's career, his ass was nearly impossible to defend. I mean, the man was 7 feet tall and 324 pounds. Imagine trying to guard that. I don't care who you are. My money's on the Shaq dog. But see, he did have one gigantic flaw. Shaq is one of the worst shooters in NBA history. I mean, this man only made 13-pointer in his entire career.
Joe Wolf, the inbound, Shaq the catch. He's gonna fire a 3. Yeah! He hits the 3!
That was it, the first and the last time anyone ever saw Shaq hit a 3. So anytime you kept Shaq out of the paint, I mean, you won. But clearly that's a lot harder than it sounds until the Mavericks developed something called the Hack a Shaq, and it looks exactly how it sounds. Teams were hugging Shaq as a strategy to win, They wanted to intentionally fall on him, so he was forced to the free throw line. Imagine being so bad at shooting teams are just giving you free throws. It's the worst feeling in the world. You're out on the court, trying your best, but you just can't make a shot. And to make matters worse, teams are starting to give you free throws just to get rid of you. It feels like everyone is laughing at you, and you just want to crawl into a hole and die. But you can't let yourself give up. You have to keep trying, no matter how hard it gets.